Virtual real estate is stupid. Yes, I said it. Virtual real estate is stupid. And I will continue to say it because virtual real estate is completely pointless and you should not be investing in virtual real estate. There's so many different things happening in the crypto space, like the blockchain technology, NFTs, tokenization of everything. I agree with all of these different things. I love them. I think people should be investing and learning and spending their 50 or 100 hours learning about all these different ways to invest. I even have my own real estate tokenization project called Martel Invest. So I'm well aware of what's going on, the different businesses and companies that have emerged in the space in the last couple of years. But virtual real estate is one that I just cannot get around, that one that I cannot recommend people invest in or even spend time learning about. If you're investing in virtual real estate, you might as well just light your money on fire. It is not a good investment. You need to be putting your money in other spaces, and I'll tell you about that in this video. And I'm not just talking emotionally here. In this video, I'm going to break down all the facts about why I don't agree with virtual real estate and why it's essentially like investing in fool's gold. But before we get into the video, please like and subscribe to my channel because my goal is to help you guys become educated so that you can invest in the right thing that's going to make you a great return in the long run. The one thing that I love so much about real estate is that it has intrinsic value and they're not building any more of it. What I mean by that is there's one Earth, right? So they're not building many Earths or many other Earths or copying or cloning Earth. And if you can own a tiny piece of Earth, that piece of Earth is going to have intrinsic value. And that's what makes real estate so valuable. You own this little sliver between these plot lines and that's yours. You get to own it and it's on the one Earth that we all call home. But now with this virtual real estate, how can there be any kind of intrinsic value? Because what's happening is people are making their own Earth in virtual real estate land, and then somebody else is cloning that land, and somebody else is cloning that land, and there's now 10,000 different Earths that exist in virtual real estate land. How can any kind of digital land have any intrinsic value when some rich guy can come and just build his own metaverse, build his own land, or big companies like Microsoft can go and build their own worlds, or Facebook? So right now there's only a couple different worlds that you can invest in, which is fantastic, but the problem is that this is just the beginning. What's going to happen when Twitter builds its own, Instagram builds its own, TikTok, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Google? All of these different companies are going to go out there and create their own metaverses, their own worlds. And what does that mean for the land that you own in virtual real estate land right now? That land will only continue to be devalued over time. Because as you increase the supply, the price and demand will decrease. Just like with real estate. Real estate, you can't build any more of it. So that means the price and demand will only go up over time. But now with virtual real estate land, as more and more supply continues to hit the market, the price and demand will continue to decline. The people who will really be able to capitalize on virtual real estate and metaverse and all this new technology are going to be the people that build the hardware, which is going to be the goggles that go on your head to even be able to get into the worlds. The biggest headset manufacturer out there right now is called Oculus. And Facebook a couple years ago actually bought Oculus. And if you know, recently, Facebook even changed their name to Meta. And Facebook is planning on creating their own metaverse. And the great thing about that is that they already own the hardware, they're building their own world, and everybody has Facebook, and you're already connected with all your friends via Facebook. That's gonna make it extremely difficult for any of these other worlds to make any money because they're gonna have to control the hardware or at least be installed into the hardware. But why the hell would Facebook allow any kind of other world to be added to their hardware? It doesn't make any sense. It's their direct competition. So they're just going to build their own world, put it on, you'll put the headset on, you'll be in that world, and you'll have all your friends there already. It's going to make all the other worlds useless unless they build their own hardware as well. So all these lands and worlds that people are investing in heavily right now don't make any sense. As soon as Facebook comes out with its own world, it's going to make your investment completely useless and completely worthless. So I think Facebook has been planning this for a really long time. They've really positioned themselves perfectly to take advantage of this whole metaverse realm. For anybody to compete, they would have to do so much. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be very difficult for any company like Decentraland to go and now spend their budget on building the hardware to be able to get into the Decentraland and then to be able to add all your friends. You're going to have to go back and add all the friends that you already have on Facebook into Decentraland. It's just going to be very complicated for them to even compete with what Facebook has coming. The craziest thing about it all is that there's been so much money dumped into virtual real estate when it has such a long way to go. The implementation and the execution of it is absolutely terrible. I don't know if any of you have even tried to go into some of these virtual real estate worlds that currently exist, but they are terribly built. They're not good, they're not fun, there's nothing to do in these places, and some of them look like a complete wasteland. Time magazine even went and sampled some of these virtual real estate worlds. And they felt like, and I quote, "They feel more like an early stage video game populated by blank walking mannequins." Now, who would want to invest in that? Who would want to invest in something that is so early and has such a long way to go? Well, tons and tons of people are still investing in these projects. And what these projects are doing is taking that money, using it to hire more developers to keep on building out their video game, their metaverse, and their world. And somehow in 2021, real estate in the metaverse reached $500 million of value. And if the sales continue, real estate values in the metaverse could reach up to $1 billion. What does that mean? Well, that means when Facebook launches, $1 billion of real estate value in this virtual real estate world is going to be completely gone. $1 billion of virtual real estate values will be destroyed when Facebook launches. So if you want to make some quick money and make a quick buck, maybe you can go and flip virtual real estate land. That may be a good option right now until Facebook launches. But if you're buying this land to hold in the long run, I would not recommend it because Facebook is going to come and hit the hammer down and $1 billion is going to disappear into thin air. Now, some people are arguing that the virtual real estate world is going to be just as valuable as real estate in the real world. So people are imagining this world that we're going to live in where people are just going to, live in a silo and live in a tiny little box and just live in their goggles all day long. And that's going to give the goggles and the virtual real estate just as much value as real estate. But what about the guy that owns those real boxes in real life? That's who I want to be, and that's where I'm going to continue to invest. Not in the place where people are going to go and put a video game on or have a virtual meeting, because I can just go and spend money and make my own virtual meeting room. It doesn't make any sense to go and buy plots of land in virtual real estate land that can be cloned and cloned by millionaires everywhere in the world. So if you want to invest in virtual real estate, know this: it's stupid. It's not ready, it's too early, it's too undeveloped. You have virtual wastelands with mannequins walking around and people are spending $500 million investing in this kind of stuff. It doesn't make any sense, and I think the big boys, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Apples, are gonna come and dominate the space when it's ready. So instead of investing in virtual real estate, invest in real estate. People have been buying real estate and making real returns for the last 100 years, so continue to do so. And if you feel like you don't have enough money to buy real estate in the real world, and that's why you're going to the virtual real estate land, I would not recommend it. There's so many different ways to invest in real estate now, and there's new projects and new companies started every single day that are tokenizing real estate or tokenizing assets or boats or houses or cars. So go invest in some of those projects, go invest in some of those companies that are tokenizing things in the real world. You can buy real estate on the blockchain instead of buying this virtual real estate crap. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I'd love to answer them for you. If not, I'll see you on the next one.